Hello guys, today's video is about a Boderry, and this is a Boderry right here. This is the Voyager, strong homage to a Bertucci field watch. Less than £100 comfortably. I said in my thumbnail, my mind was blown. Why was it blown? Stick with me in this video and I shall describe why. So the Boderry Voyager, before we get stuck into the review, here's a quick blast through the stats and the specifications. Now, first of all, I'm going to run through what I have disliked about this watch, just to help you out and show you that it's a balanced review, and I'm not just going to give a glowing report, because I did say this has blown my mind, but there was always issues with watches, so let's get on with those. First of all, it's difficult to get straps to look great on this watch. They need a chunky strap, basically, because of the lug to lug and the way this watch has a long 48, 49 lug to lug. If you have a skinny strap in there, the watch looks like it's just lost on your wrist, and you need this chunkiness helped by a one piece like this one or a NATO. It does really help the watch look better on your wrist, but if you put it on a skinny rubber or a skinny leather, it does look a bit weird. You do get two holes in here for spring bar location, which does help a little bit, and that is also mainly to help fit a thick chunky strap through here. But that still doesn't make it look better when you put a thin strap on. I'm not so sure on the Boderry name. It sounds a bit weird, but it could be a lot worse. But Boderry, it's just a bit odd. The strap length is a bit odd. I'll put this on wrist to show you how it fits me with my 7-inch wrist very well. But if you have a larger or smaller wrist, it may not work very well. Traditionally, when you put a strap like this on, you'd get a bit of tuck back of this on the other end. But this literally just about reaches around, and this piece here just tucks in and holds it all together. Very nice for my wrist, but if you have a tiny wrist, this will come poking out way too much. And if you have a much bigger wrist, it might not catch these keepers here very well. Traditionally, you'd need a longer strap so it caters for more people. You either have more tuck back or less. This is dictated by effectively how long this piece here works with your wrist size. Titanium case finishing is okay. There's a few bits that are slightly patchy, but it's hard to see just by glancing at it. It's normally when you look at it under a bit of scrutiny you'll notice, but again, at this price, comfortably under 100, it's pretty decent, but it's not perfect. The white date wheel, although it's great to have a clear, legible date wheel, I would prefer if they'd gone for the NH35, which is in this watch, to have had it with a black date wheel. Then it would have blended in very nicely with this black theme here. There's so many different colour variations in the Boderry Voyager range that I think it doesn't really matter. I think it's just for this particular one, it would have been nice with the black date wheel. And is this just too much of a clone of a Bertucci field watch, an American brand offering tough, rugged field watches which aren't that much more money than this, but they don't offer the same specification as this one at this price. But is it just too much of a clone? Now we're going to move on to the things that have actually blown my mind, why it's so good. The price, comfortably under 100, around £80 is incredible for this specification. It's super light, under 80 grams, titanium case at this size with the fabric strap. It's kind of what you'd expect, but it just melts on the wrist. It's extremely comfortable. It's actually well made. When I say well made, all the things that you would expect a watch to do, it does very well. The unscrewing of the crown, the setting of the time, there's no movement anywhere. When you move the hands, there's no wobble of the movement in there, it's gripped in properly. The alignment of the hands is absolutely perfect. The finishing's good, there's no fluff or snotty bits under the dial, no bits of dust under there. It's been made in a clean environment. Those kind of things bug me. If there's dust under the dial, I have to get it out. But this is perfectly fine. The movement in here, NH35, I do love that. It's a very refined movement. You never notice it in the watch, and it's running well in here. I put it on my time grapher. It's averaging about -5 a day in terms of timekeeping, which is extremely good for an out-the-box Japanese movement and an extremely cheap watch. Very good indeed. And the fact it's a mechanical movement as well is lovely. To have that smooth sweep on the hand there, really good. The hand lengths, oh, absolutely perfect. These syringe hands, the way the tip of the minute hand just kisses the edge of the numbers there, where the tip of the hour hand lines up with just the outer edge of these inner numbers here, the 24-hour numbers, really good. Lovely red seconds tip with this very long seconds hand, everything lining up. It's just well thought out. They could easily have messed up the hand lengths, but they've done a perfect job. And the fact that they're satin as well complements and works with the satin finish of the case, and it's just so legible because of that. Matte dial, matte hands, matte case, everything is really clear. The lume on here is very decent. I was really impressed. I thought a watch like this that doesn't have big deep filled indices, has just the printed indices, it's extremely good. It glows way longer than I expected and is perfectly appropriate for this type of watch. I like just the materials used. You've got sapphire crystal and titanium case. Again, they're just cool materials to have at this price. You haven't got mineral crystal or acrylic like you get on the Bertucci's. Titanium, which is cool at any price point to be able to say you've got on a watch. I love it. I wore this at the beach for the day. I wore this in the ocean, or I'm messing about in the sand, and it was perfectly fine. I got it totally soaked. It was getting blasted about by the waves, and it got sand and grit all over it. It survived it absolutely perfectly. This is a tough beta watch. You can wear this anywhere, do anything with it, and it's just comforting to know that you've got a cheap watch that you can just rely upon and trust. And you even got an etched case back, which is a detail you don't always get at these cheap prices. Really nice. And if you don't like this dial variation, there are loads of other ones. Loads of choice, still all under £100. I love that versatility and the choice. You can even get this with a bracelet as well, which is super cool. And lastly, I like a watch, even with a strap like this on it, to feel thin and light on my wrist. If it's a beta, tough, everyday watch, this just does so well. And it'll feel even slimmer on the wrist if you just put it on a two-piece strap. But even on this single pass one you get, it wears so beautifully on the wrist. It's so slim. So there you have it, a watch which has actually blown my mind. I've seen so many watches over the years. I've made nearly 300 videos. I have an understanding of what you get for around this kind of money. And that's why my mind was blown, because the specification and everything I've run through on this piece is extremely good. I am very impressed, and it's not often I get to say that anymore because it's always something I can really moan about. But this watch really has surprised me. I hope this video has been a surprise to you. If not, thanks for watching anyway. I'll see you in another one, hopefully in the near future. Do click on one of my other videos, which hopefully is popping up, and I'll see you in another one very soon. Bye for now.